Everyone says to love yourself, but no one really tells you how to do this. Self-love is a skill. It can be taught, it can be learned, it can be practiced. You just have to spend some time doing it. So let's talk about what real self-love looks like. Welcome back to the Self Love Diaries. I don't want to waste any of your time. I have a lot of videos in this series that you can binge. Let's get into the video. I want to talk about what self-love actually looks like when you're struggling. These are 5 things that I started doing to truly love myself, not just look like I love myself. Stop negotiating your worth. If you tell your best friend, don't tolerate this behavior, or why would you settle for that behavior, and then you do it, when you truly love yourself, you no longer want to argue with people who do not love you. You no longer want to argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You no longer want to argue with people who has a different version of your life than you do. And what I mean by that is they're speaking their truth and it's different from your truth. Everyone has stories and narratives that we create and that we share, but sometimes people are just out of touch with reality and out of touch with what's really going on in your life. Maybe because you haven't even told them. And self-love is not telling people how to treat you. If they know how they should treat you and you chose each other, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, and they're not treating you that way, you should probably ask why, but why would you tolerate being treated less than you deserve? Why would you tolerate being treated a different way than they used to treat you? And sometimes self-love is doing an incredibly hard thing, like walking away when the energy shifts. Walking away when you're disrespected. Walking away when a person is committed to misunderstanding you. And please, 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 please understand that begging to be seen and begging to be loved or to be heard is not intimacy. It's not that you're communicating well, even though you probably are. It's a trauma response. When you stop negotiating your worth, you have standards. You have to remember those standards and remember that those standards are you self-trusting yourself, self-respecting, and also honoring yourself. When someone is unsure about you, that is clarity. When someone is unsure if they can treat you the way that you want to be treated, that is clarity. When someone makes you feel small, that is clarity. You don't need to have a conversation. You don't need to beg them for answers. You don't need to beg them to act right. They're giving you clarity. You're just not accepting it. I want you to replace that self-doubt with self-trust and affirm to yourself that you are worthy. You're not small. You are good enough. You're more than good enough. And you're more than deserving of all these good things. And please also understand that this is not me saying that you have standards. You love yourself so much. You're too good for people, you're superior than people, or you can just cut people off left and right. That is a trauma response. Loving yourself and knowing your worth and being confident in that and fully trusting yourself lets you hold yourself to a certain standard, but you've done the work to get there. You've done the processing, you've done the stillness, you've done the holding space to get there. It's not that you just woke up tomorrow and the standard set. It does take work to love yourself. It does take work to set standards. It does take work to keep holding yourself to those standards and holding the people around you to those standards. It's doable, but you cannot demand it of people if you have not done the work. When you negotiate your worth, you're signaling to people that love has to be earned. Love is not given freely, and that you really deep down inside don't believe that you're truly worthy of it. Real self-love says, if it's costing me my peace, it's too expensive. If you cannot love me as I am when I'm being wonderful to you, then you're not for me. If you can't hold space for me and my emotions and my story or the stories that I create, then that's okay, but you're not the person for me. If your energy makes me question how I feel about myself or if I feel safe, it's probably not for me. And if you tell your best friend to not settle for this, why would you settle for this? Do the hard things that honor you. Now, I don't mean wearing burnout as a badge of honor. That is not what I'm saying. But you're not always going to feel like doing some of the hard things that build self-trust, build confidence, keep affirming your love for yourself. Sometimes self-love is not as sexy as we think it is. Sometimes it is making sure that you make your bed, shower, brush your teeth, go for a walk outside. If that's the bare minimum that you're capable of doing that day, do it. And make sure you're pouring into yourself and loving yourself. Sometimes it's doing all of those things, even though all of those things feel heavy or like it's a lot to do, or they feel like they're going to take a lot of your energy. Even if you're not feeling 100% your best, those little small things are ways that you can show yourself that you love yourself. Or it could be choosing to be silent instead of over communicating. You do not need to send a closure text. It's keeping promises to yourself, even though no one's going to know if you would break it. Like, think about it. No one's going to know if you don't go to the gym. No one's going to know if you don't get up and get dressed to work from home so that way you look presentable and you feel presentable. No one's going to know if you eat right or you don't. But if you're hiding behind what no one's going to know and not doing it for yourself, you don't truly love yourself. Loving yourself is not about feeling good in every moment, but it's doing small things that you can do to make yourself feel good and keeping those small promises to yourself so that you can continue to have confidence in yourself and have self-trust. It's about honoring yourself all the time. So if you think of self-love as how can I honor myself, that might make it a little bit easier for you to practice it. And sometimes that means rest, boundaries, discipline, hard choices, and no one's really clapping for that. When you stop abandoning yourself in the moments that you need yourself the most, that's when you feel free and you feel like there's nothing that you can't do because you keep those promises to yourself. This is a really hard one. I think I said this in the other video about your inner critic and judging yourself and all the pressure that you put on yourself. I want you to replace self-judgment with curiosity. If I'm being triggered by something, why is it triggering me? Is it really this deep? Is it really this important? Am I really bothered by it? And if I am, why is it triggering me? Or if I'm judging someone else, why am I doing that? Is their lifestyle or them as a person triggering me to the point where I'm casting judgment? Why did I respond that way? What was I needing in that moment? Where have I seen this pattern before that I'm now having? Giving yourself permission to explore, because there's probably a reason you have this pattern. If you pay attention to when it happens, most importantly, what you need in that moment, instead of continuing to do the pattern, you're going to feel so much better. And I have huge groundbreaking news for you. You can love yourself before you're healed, because healing is not a checklist. It's not a specific timeline that's linear. It's a process. It's a journey. It's you as you evolve and grow and change as a person. It's about no longer shrinking, chasing, or proving yourself just to feel worthy. It's about knowing that you already are all of those things, that you can choose yourself, that you can love yourself. When you love yourself, you stop settling, you stop over-explaining, and you stop having low-quality experiences. You stop abandoning yourself just to make others feel comfortable. And the most beautiful part about it is anyone can learn to do this. Or if you're going through a season in your life where you're not loving yourself that much or you're not feeling that good about yourself, you can change that. You can get back into a season or have a whole new season altogether where you do love yourself. Anyone can learn to love themselves, even if they grew up not feeling worthy or not feeling enough, even if they were rejected, even if your inner critic is really loud, even if your inner critic is really loud and tough on yourself. You can unlearn it all. You can rewire your beliefs and you can create a new story. It's not too late. It's not too hard. You're not broken. You can do it. And I promise when you do, you are going to feel so good and you are going to feel so amazing and also so proud of yourself. You're not going to recognize the old version of you. Thank you for tuning into this week's video, and I hope that you love binging all of the episodes of the Self Love Diaries. I always end every video with affirmations, and I think I'm going to start sharing some affirmations and posting them because I truly love and believe in them and their power. I would love to create an affirmations book or app or something that just, because affirmations rewire your brain and will change your life. I'm no longer available for anything that costs me my peace, my power, or my self-respect. I choose myself not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. I treat myself with the love I once begged others to give me. I am safe to be soft, to be seen, and to be loved exactly as I am.